On the road again.
Hello and welcome back to Santana Travel Adventures. So in this episode we'll be flying to Singapore from Chicago. So we'll be flying on Korean Air. So we're just going to provide you some quick tips and tricks for pre-registration, packing and things of that sort, and just walk you through our whole airport experience. And so first tip that I always recommend to all my clients is make sure you print out all your travel documents. Because a lot of times people like to have it on their phone, but if your phone dies or if it gets damaged, you always want to have a backup. So I'm kind of old school, so I printed out all my travel documents for all the flights, all the hotels I'm staying at. And most importantly, before you travel to Singapore, make sure you do your SG Arrival Card e-service. And so pretty much all it is a health registration screening. And you put in all your information, your passport information, date of birth, and whether you're feeling sick or not, and then you print it out. And so you're gonna need this as you walk in through the airport. So make sure you have this submission form printed out before you leave, along with your passport and your COVID card. So to get into Singapore, they recommend a digital vaccination card, but I brought the physical hard copy anyway, so I called the airlines and they said usually they don't even ask for it, but just in case, bring your physical COVID CDC card, vaccination card with you. And just to be on the safe side, I went ahead and downloaded the app for my chart, and my wife did it for her Rush app for her vaccinations. So we have both the physical and we have the virtual vaccination card. So these are just a couple of tips. And next, my wife was going to be going over what to pack and how to pack.
Hey everyone, I'm Monique. Welcome to Santana Travels Adventures. I wanted to share with you some things that I brought on the plane with me. This was our first time doing a long haul flight. In total, it was around 22 hours, so I felt like I needed a lot of things. I did a lot of research on YouTube and I found some things that worked for me. One of those things I will go with are the wet wipes. So these are for your hands, but I also got Clorox wipes. These are number one on my list. When we got on the plane, it was really dirty. When I got on there, before I tell you what I got on there, I also brought some larger Ziploc bags, and I will tell you why. So when I got on the plane, we cleaned the seats, the headrests, we cleaned the tray tables, the ones that, once it's up, you clean the back of it. Once you let it down, you clean top of it. That was really nasty. When I was done with these, I would put the dirty wipes into the Ziploc bag. So that's why that comes in handy. On top of that, before I sat down, I saw that there was a used mask with a lot of crumbs in it. It totally grossed me out. There's a lot of things that gross me out, but again, that's another story. And so I was able to pick that up using the Ziploc bag and put it in there. I also used this for the kids and my husband as well. After using this, the Clorox wipes to wipe down the surfaces, I use the hand wipes to clean my hands. You can use this, you can use hand sanitizer, either one. They all work great. Again, I put all of the used wipes into the Ziploc bag, which I had with me. So then that way when the stewardess or flight attendants came by, I could just give them all of that. They wouldn't even have to touch it themselves. They could put it in their trash. Another thing that I found really useful was this neck pillow. Over the years when flying, I've had different neck pillows, but this one by far is the best. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's called Cabo. Not Cabo, but Cabo, C-A-B-E-A-U. What I like about this is that it has the strap so you can attach it to the seat. So once you put it up there, it sits there, you can just sit back. I'm kind of short, so it was a little struggle for me. My neck is short too, so I had to, kind of maneuver my way up in there. What's also great about this is that you can connect both sides and tighten it as you see fit. What's really great about this is that it will hold your head in place. So if you fall forward, you have the protection here, to the side, back, whatever you have. I really like this. However, I am a side sleeper. So I like to turn sideways and lay down. This is not for that. I don't know what kind of pillow will be good for that, but this isn't it. What I did though, I took it off the seat and I just laid my head inside and adjusted it as I needed to be. Still very soft, very comfortable. It did not get flat. So I definitely recommend this, and I will say everything that mostly everything you're going to see, I ordered from Amazon. I got a couple of things from Target. Pay with it with my own money, no sponsorships or anything like that. So all of this I'm recommending is things that I've actually used and would recommend. Another thing that I got, because our flight was 11 o'clock in the morning, I got this eye mask. Now I've tried different eye masks over the years. What I like about this is that it has like the indent, so it's not heavy on your eyelids. For those who love wearing eyelashes, if they're not super long, I don't think you'll have a problem with this pushing in on your eyelids. That's what I liked about it. There was no light getting through. It was not heavy on my face. It really worked a lot. And what's great about this is that it comes with a pouch also. This is Mzu, also off of Amazon. Our flight during the time we were full daylight for most of the time. They did turn the lights down, and a lot of people had their shades down, but just in case you're sitting next to someone who likes to keep theirs up, I would definitely recommend this. You cannot see any light through this at all. Another thing that I got but didn't really need, and I'll tell you why. I would recommend this though. So this is a footrest that when you want to elevate your feet or have them up off the ground. After sitting so long, your legs get tired and it's a lot of pressure on your thighs and your knees. So what you would do is put this on the tray table. You can leave the tray table open or you can close it. This is really good. It fit both my legs in there. The reason why I didn't use it so much is because I used my carry-on as a footrest, so I was able to just put my legs up as needed. So I would recommend this. I think this was like somewhere between $10 and $13. Not a waste of money, but if you're looking to save money, I'm sure you have some things that you can use to save, for that. Also, I recommend bringing a snack bag. Now, I have more snacks in here than this. They do serve food on the plane. In case you're not a fan of what they serve, at least you have your own snacks. So I had 2 bags of popcorn. I had some little Kind bars, Larimar bars, and I love beef jerky. However, keep in mind, beef jerky has a scent, so I don't know if you want to eat that on the plane. I did not eat it because we ended up getting Garrett's popcorn. For those in Chicago who know about Garrett's, yes, we got Garrett's popcorn, so I ate most of that on the plane, and I ate my popcorn that I brought once we got to the hotel because I was hungry. We didn't get here until late. Another thing I recommend are these little bags. So I do have 2 of them. Don't pay attention to the things in here. I carried a mini deodorant, travel size toothbrush, toothpaste, some face stuff, mouthwash, floss, and some other things. Now I do recommend this. Oh, in addition to that, I got some body wipes. Now, we only had an hour layover, just enough time to get from one plane to another. If you're able to, if you have some time, I would definitely recommend stopping in the bathroom, brushing your teeth, and all of that great stuff. We did not have that time. We went from one side of the airport to get to the other plane, and by the time we got over there to our other plane, they were in line. Quick enough for me to go to the bathroom. However, when we got on the plane, I did wipe under my arms and stuff. I was a little bit upset because I couldn't wash my face. However, my daughter had some face wipes from Peach and Lily. Those were totally awesome. I would definitely recommend this because it does cool you off. Much needed. It does refresh you. It's Lazy Day all-in-one moisture pads that we used. It was really great. So ladies, I would recommend this. Even if you're not flying, this is really good. But after doing that, I was refreshed, threw some deodorant on. I don't care about who sees me while I'm cleaning up. I'm totally fine. The reason why I didn't do it in the bathroom on the plane is because, again, things tend to gross me out. So I just sucked it up. I did have Listerine spray, so I could spray it in my mouth. The only people sitting next to me were my kids anyway. They smell my funky breath, but anyway, we all understand. We all on the flight. They do, however, give you toothbrush and toothpaste on the airline also. So if you just want to save space in your bag, then you can do that. And they have, my daughter just told me that it had toothbrush and toothpaste in the bathroom as well. Thank you. Also, I brought this case. Now, none of my stuff is in here because I've used it. This is more like a technology case. You can put your cables and stuff in here. I have my cables, my adapters, battery pack, excuse me, in here for the plane. Now, where we were sitting, everything worked, so we didn't have to worry about that. I still say get something to be on the safe side because not all the time does things work. So I think my kids, they were able to charge their phones using the USB on the plane. I didn't have to, I just watched the TV on the plane, which takes me to my headset that I have here. This is Bluetooth, but you can also use it with the cord. I use the cord because I watch the movies on the plane, so you do have to do that. But I did see that if you do have AirPods or regular Bluetooth AirPods, there's a thing called iFly, I want to say, that you can use to connect that into the USB on the plane and just connect your headset to that. It works that way as well. And last but not least, no jet lag. So I read a lot of reviews on this on Amazon. And we took this. We have not been extremely tired, still tired trying to catch up on the time here. But these definitely work. They don't make you sleep or anything like that. It just gives you energy. So in addition to that, I did take Benadryl to help sleep. So they do not, there's no effect if you take this with this. Again, I think they said it's more so, from what I read on the reviews, I think it's more so just sugar than anything. Give you that boost of energy. There's no caffeine in here though. So you don't have to, if you're not into caffeine, you don't have to worry about with this, but it definitely works. Also, let me tell you about this. I had to bring my water bottle. So that's not it. I got a Brita water bottle. They do have travel size water bottles, and what I mean is that you can close them up and you can pull them up and it will expand. I like this because it has a filter in it. So I feel safe getting water from anywhere. And the filter is here in this area. I'll take it out just so you can see. So this is what it looks like. So this is the filter here. You just pop that in and put that back in, and you lock it in place. I use this so you know you can't go through airport security with water. So I did not have water in here. I filled it up at one of the water stations at the airport. So I definitely recommend getting water or getting a water bottle. That way you can fill it up at the airport. They do not give you a lot of water on the plane. So this will take care of that. I think this is 29 ounces. It doesn't say on here, but it came in handy for me. I will say, if you have a layover, so going from one plane to the next, we had to go through security when we got to Korea. And I didn't realize that I would have to pour my water out. So one of the TSA agents poured my water out for me because I couldn't take it on the plane. But yeah, so definitely get you this. Make sure no water. If you do bring water, freeze it. Make sure you drink whatever little bit of water is in there before going through TSA. I heard that as long as it's frozen, you can do that. You wouldn't have a problem. One more thing that I think will come in handy. If you do not have noise canceling headphones, I had noise canceling headphones. However, when I was sleepy, I wasn't listening to them. Or when I had them on and my neck rests on, it did not help. There were babies on the plane. So if you're in that situation, I would say get some earplugs. These are definitely noise canceling. They're very soft, they're reusable. So after you use them, you can wash them. I only have 6 in here, so that lets you know how often I use them, right? But anyway, I would definitely recommend these if you're not the type of person who likes to sleep with things over your ear or earbuds in your ears. I would recommend this to tune out the noise of, I just say babies, because we heard babies crying. I know they have their needs, but when I'm trying to sleep, I don't want to hear that noise. So I would definitely recommend earplugs. And so that's it, everyone. Bye. Hello, everyone. So we are at the airport. We are heading to Singapore. I just had to fill up my water bottle. They say the flight is like 22 hours. So
15 for the first one.
15 for the first one. Whatever, bring it back.
I'm just saying.
It's still 22 total. So. But yeah, here we go.
It's 21 total.
Y'all ready to get there?
You can skip the flight. You can skip that.
Yeah, so we got 22 hours before we get there. Yeah, so we just got through security. So it did come in handy. They sure asked for the STA approval card, so make sure you have that handy.
Right.
So we're just waiting for the plane to take off. Make sure you get there at least 3 hours ahead of time because the line was around the corner.
Alright, what's up, y'all? So we just got on the flight. So one thing is required to wear a mask on again. But so this all the stuff we got a blanket just in case you want to go to sleep. Got some headphones. And there's this which I have not opened yet, so toothbrush and toothpaste because they don't want to smell your sticky breath.
We made it to Singapore, so it took 22 hours yesterday to get to Singapore. So we lost the whole day, But I wanted to just give a basic review of our Korean Air experience because I didn't really get a chance to talk on the plane because I didn't want to be rude to the other customers. But the food was decent. So on the first plane, we got fed 3 times. So the first meal, you could either had beef and pasta or chicken stir fry. I had the beef and pasta, as you can see in the video. And it was decent. I would definitely recommend it. The second one was a snack, which was 9 hours in. So the first meal was 2 hours into the flight. The second meal was like 9 hours into the flight. They gave you a beef roll, and then they give you a blueberry muffin and orange juice. And then the third meal was 13 hours into the flight. And for that meal, they had chicken and rice, or you had fish and rice. And it came with a piece of chocolate cake, which was decent for for airplane food. I would recommend it. And then we only had an hour, so as you'll see in the video, the layover in Seoul, we only had 1 hour, so we had to rush to get to the other terminal bay. And they had cool little robots walking around, give you instructions on if you needed help to get through the airport. But the second meal was the second flight was only 6 hours instead of 15 hours. So on that plane, they only fed us twice. So the first meal was served 1.5 hours into the flight. So they had a bibimbap beef stew. They had a bibimbap or beef stew. I got the bibimbap, which was really good. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but yeah, it was pretty good. It was recommended by the people next door to me. And then the second meal was a little pizza roll and a banana. That was 4.5 hours in. So they made sure they fed you. But even after we got off the flight, we were still a little hungry. So we stopped and got some room service when we got to the hotel. So all in all, I think the Korean Air was pretty good. The plane was a little dirty, my wife said. You didn't like the plane? It was just okay.
No, they had a used mask sitting in the seat with crumbs all in it.
My wife didn't care for the cleanliness of the plane.
I had to clean it up. Thankfully, I brought in a Ziploc bag to store our trash in.
And then we made sure to bring some Clorox wipes also, just in case. 'Cause I'm sure they don't have time to sanitize those huge planes in between flights. So my wife got some Clorox wipes and we wiped everything down in between every time we got into a new plane. So yeah, all in all, I hope I get a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was decent. It wasn't bad. To my wife's packing tips. So these are just a couple things that I did some research on. And so before we left, we saw that it was the end of the rainy season. So I went on Amazon and I got these rain ponchos. They come with 5 disposable rain ponchos. And I brought my rain jacket just in case. The guy that dropped us off told us that it rains pretty much every day for like maybe 20-30 minutes. But that's why it's so green and pretty here. But make sure you bring your rain ponchos, your rain jacket. And my wife was kind enough to buy me this phone waterproof case, so if you're taking pictures in the rain, you could use your phone case. And as well, we're not sponsored by Septics, but when you come here, you have to make sure you get an adapter, a travel adapter, because they don't. This hotel did have the U.S. Adapter, but most hotels don't. And so here, if you get a Septics adapter, it comes with 6 different travel adapters. So here in Singapore, they use the Euro adapter. So this is the kind you would need if you come to Singapore. And as you can see here, you can charge via USB or via the regular outlet. So this is definitely recommended wherever you go. And lastly, my wife got some Clorox wipes for wiping down everything, because you never know how good of a job they do cleaning up everything. So these are some of the quick tip things that we have besides what my wife showed in her video. Oh, I forgot to tell you about our experience going through security and customs at Singapore. It was awesome. So as soon as we got off the plane, we just had to show our passport. We scanned our passport and we put our fingerprint, and we were right through. We didn't have to wait 2-hour lines to go through security and customs. And then if we were declaring anything, you just walked right on through. And then it took literally 5 minutes. Whereas when we went to Jamaica and some other places, it took 2 hours to get through. And so 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, I recommend Singapore, because they said they're super efficient. And so the whole process was seamless. They didn't even ask for our COVID cards, but I had it just in case. So make sure you bring yours just in case. But they didn't even ask for the COVID cards or anything, because we did all that stuff ahead of time. And also, we went on via tour and we scheduled our transportation ahead of time. So when we got there, our person was waiting for us. It was midnight when we landed, and we didn't have to wait for a taxi or anything. The guy had a sign that said, Danny Santana, and so we got on our luxury limo bus, and they picked us right up. I have pictures of that as well, and so it was very convenient. So I would definitely recommend them. It was Singapore Transportation. I'll put the link at the bottom. But yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, so the experience was positive, even though it was 22 hours. We got to the hotel, and it was a really good experience. When we did get to the hotel, they did have a little mix up. So they upgraded our room, but the only problem was we went from 2 double beds to 1 king size bed, even though it was on a higher corner suite. But we couldn't take it because we had our kids with us, so we had to get a second room because the double room that they gave us was sold out. And so they gave us a complimentary breakfast for the whole duration of our stay, and they gave us a credit on our room because of the inconvenience. But otherwise, it was pretty good.
We've been Singapore. We just made it to the airport. Alan from EU Transportation Services is dropping us off. Thank you, Alan, for all your help. Appreciate it.
About 3.5 hours early, and it wasn't even ready yet. So keep that in mind. If you get to the airport, they won't let you check your bags until like 3 hours before. So don't get here too early, because then you'll have to wait around until the luggage check-in is ready.
We're headed to the SkyTrans Terminal 1. That's where the Jewel is, where the waterfall is. So if you get dropped off at any other terminal, you'll have to take a SkyTran. But make sure you give yourself enough time to get there and get back, so that way you can catch your flight and go through security. So walk to the Jewel if you don't feel like taking the tram. It's just a longer walk. This is where the waterfall is located. It's right across the street from Terminal 1, so it's not in Terminal 1. So this is where, if you had some time to spare, this is where you would come to spend some time until your flight comes.
Across the street from Terminal 1. So I guess the waterfall happens every few minutes. So if you want to check it out,
come to Terminal 1 at the Changi Airport. So pretty much at the Jewel, they have shopping, they have restaurants, they have the waterfall, they have movie theater. And so there's tons of stuff you can do. It looks like there's like maybe 4 or 5 floors. Get through security in like 10 seconds. You can scan your passport and take a picture, and that's it. Even once you get through security, there's tons of restaurants and shops to go to at the airport. Food court on the top level of Terminal 3. And I saw a sign for a free movie if you have time to catch a movie. So this is the bee Cheng Hing. So they recommended it in Singapore. The beef is supposed to be really good. The pork, sliced pork, is really good. So I just got a piece.
So we got some of this sliced pork. In Chinatown, it was like an hour wait for it, and so we got at the airport. I got them like 5 minutes. It's really good. It tastes like bacon. Brandon got the spicy one. He said it tastes really good also. So make sure you check out the sliced pork when you come to Singapore as well. It's really good. So I was a little mistaken. So when we first got here, we went through a security checkpoint, but that was only for health check-in, I believe. And so when we got to the actual terminal, there was another security, so we had to check our bags, but it was a lot faster. So as opposed to when you go to O'Hare, you have to go through security before anybody can get to any terminals. This one we got through in like 3 minutes or something like that. So it's still a very seamless process to get through security here at Changi Airport. That airplane's huge. We're about to get ready to leave in about 10 minutes.
stopping over in Taiwan airport, you have to go through immigration and then wear a mask throughout the airport and on the airplane. So I think there's only one terminal, so you have time if you have a layover. Just keep in mind that you're gonna have to go through the airport to get to your next flight. So Taipei is nowhere near as nice as Changi Airport. It looks like everything is closed right now. There's not much, so make sure if you can get some snacks, you might want to get them while you're in Singapore. Because there's not like much open here in Taipei.
Provide a quick overview on EVA Air as far as the food. So 45 minutes in, they gave us a snack of rice crackers. Then 2 hours in, they gave us spicy beef, rice, vegetables, and a peach cake. The beef was kind of tough, but everything else was decent. And so on that first flight, it was only 4.5 hours, so we only got the one meal and the one snack. But on the second flight, it was 13 hours, and so they pretty much fed us like every 2 to 3 hours. So we got cheese crackers for a snack. And then 2 hours in, we get chicken, potatoes, and pound cake, and they also had a beef option as well. And then 5 hours in, they gave us a turkey sandwich. And then lastly, 2 hours before we landed, they gave us the option of either beef stew or chicken pasta. So I got the chicken pasta, the fruit, and the graham crackers. Overall, the food was decent. The entertainment was, it was good. It kept me busy for 13 hours on the flight, but I recommend EVA Air. I thought it was very efficient, and the customer service as far as the flight attendants is very good. So EVA Air, I give them a 4.5 out of 5 stars. So we just got back from our 2-week trip from Singapore. So this is just a review of the airlines, EVA Air versus Korean Air. So on the way there, we took Korean Air. We took the 777-300 ER, and actually the same aircraft on the way back on EVA Air. So as far as a comparison, EVA Air and Korea Air are very similar. The customer service was great on both. The food was just okay on both as well. I think Korea Air had a little more options when it came to entertainment, and it gave you more takeaways like slippers and toothbrushes and stuff like that. Whereas EVA Air was a little more clean and a little more spacious, but I think they're probably neck and neck, so I wouldn't recommend one over the other. They're both decent. But as far as airports, so we left from O'Hare and we went to Seoul, Korea, and then from Seoul, Korea we went to Changi, and then on the way back we went from Changi to Taipei. And so Changi, above all other airports, it's the #1 airport, and I see why they're voted #1, almost every year. The security is like super quick and efficient. There's tons of things to do. There's the waterfall, there's shopping, there's a carnival in there, there's a movie theater in there. So Changi's #1 airport when it comes to airports. I say Korea was #2, and Seoul, they were very clean also, and it was very modern looking. I say Taipei was low, run down, a lot of construction. So if the airport is a determining factor, I would say go with Korea Air over EVA Air, just because Taipei wasn't as nice of an airport as Changi or Seoul, Korea. But all in all, the flights were good. We didn't have any issues going or coming. And so one thing I do recommend is transportation. So we had transportation waiting for us when we got there. As you saw in the video, Amy and Adam are awesome. Rui Transportation Services in Singapore, I'll put their link in the comments. And they took us back to the airport as well, so I definitely recommend them. They made us feel welcome, took us around the city, so they're great transportation when it comes to getting around Singapore. So that's all I have. And so check out our next video, which is we have different videos. within Singapore. So we had one for Singapore, one for Sentosa, and then we had another one for when we went on the cruise. So check out these subsequent videos in this sequence.